Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our monthly Angelscope for the sign of Libra for the month of October 2022. So before we begin, I'd like to welcome everyone back to this monthly series, and to also welcome anyone who may be new to our Angelic Wisdom community. So, as I'm going to just sort of condense this introductory part, because you would have already seen more detail in the general monthly angel reading, some of the things you need to know in greater detail. So, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and click on this link below this video. It should be the first one for the general reading for the month of October 2022. All right, next, so I just want to also remind you, if you haven't subscribed, to select the all notification bell, like, dislike, and leave comments. Also, if you would like an angel reading with me, and you'd like to set that up, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. There is a link in the description area below as well. Because this is my 10th anniversary year, you can select the first time promotional offer angel reading, which is my discounted hourly rate, and it's unlimited to everyone. Also, if you just want to support my channel, I've recently put my PayPal Me link there, and so that there's a link below as well for that, and all of my other social media accounts. So if you feel guided to support my channel, please know that no matter what amount it is, how little, it is still greatly appreciated. And finally, the format here that we'll be looking at of the cards. And sorry, my glasses got a little smudge. So the card in the center is a card from the Archangel Oracle, and it will tell you which archangel you'll be working with this month, and some information and wisdom from that archangel. The card on the left of that card here is a message from your guardian angels, both of these cards flanking it. The one is from the Major Arcana and the other from the Minor Arcana. So the Major Arcana is going to highlight the big lessons, and the Minor Arcana is going to highlight the day-to-day themes that might be showing up in your life, or how that Major Arcana lesson is showing up in your life in the day-to-day reality. All right, so let's take a deep breath together and breathe out, release, and let go. And just focus on your heart space. Now, what they're showing me, Libra, they're showing me a window. And it's a window where, it's the first time I've seen this, where it's like, instead of being like a 4-pane window pane, it's just 2. And it's more like horizontal, which is interesting. I am seeing a cross, but initially I was not. I'm seeing it now, and they write the word follow, and that usually means for me about listening to your heart. Okay, don't let your pain navigate for you. Don't let your pain navigate for you. Follow your heart. Even though you might be experiencing a lot of pain, and like right now I'm experiencing a lot of back and shoulder physical pain, but I knew I needed to be here to finish this, and so I'm not allowing my physical pain to navigate what I can and cannot do, but I'm allowing my heart to navigate for me. Now, what was also interesting initially was that there was a very large tree outside that window, and it began to move closer to the window, so that all of a sudden you could really see nothing else but the tree, with the window panes there. So there is something about moving closer to your purpose, to your truth, to your connection with the divine. And there may be some distractions that you might have to pay attention to in this month of October, where, um, the window panes just is, I've never seen that horizontal and double window pane. So it almost feels like, the horizontal, usually windows are about opportunities, windows of opportunity. Um, but in this context, it feels as though that an opportunity might be the cause of interference with your higher self, as the trunk of the tree is that connection to your higher self. And especially because the trunk of that tree was almost just sort of blinding your sight to the actual window panes. And so I feel like that we need, and because it's two, it's like a balance. So I feel like that you need to balance your perspective a bit and not let an opportunity, like for instance, if there's financial concerns, don't let your suffering in terms of never of lack sort of dictate what actions and measures you take. Always listen to your soul, no matter how difficult the circumstances might be. And they wrote the word comparison, and you might be comparing yourself to others, which is like to say, almost I hear them say, it's like you're neglecting your own path when you do that. When you compare yourself to others and where they are and where you are, and then you start to make decisions based on what their path is, not yours. And so you kind of create this, it creates anxiety when you do this. Anxiety is an alarm. Like it's like those things on the road. When you run off the road, it goes off, it makes that brrr sound. So you're getting out of your lane. You're about to go off course. And that could be a wide range of what that could mean, right? Disaster to, just a simple little hiccup. But the idea is when you feel anxiety, pay attention to it, not in an alarming way. Don't escalate it, but it's just an alarm. Stay in your lane. It's there to help keep you awake, right? So you might, like if you might accidentally fall asleep, those little things on the side of the road will hopefully wake you up in time. So that's what you need to do, is stay in your lane. And they write service, as if your path is a path of service. And I'm sure you're aware of that, but you can't focus on that true opportunity that your soul is guiding you towards, because you're comparing yourself to others. And when you're doing that, you're looking at their lanes and you're neglecting your own. And your own lane, everything that's for you is coming to you on that lane. That's a journey that, even though it's imperfect, their lane may look perfect from where you stand, but it's also imperfect. Everybody's lane is imperfect, or there would be no need, there would be no way to call you forth, you see, because the imperfection of life as it appears to our ego is what calls us forward, is how the universe summons us forward, because we are always seeking perfection. And you will always be doing so, no matter what it is that you will be doing. And that is a part of your journey that you need to accept. That's the way, part of the way that they call you forward sometimes. When you see something that needs to be fixed, then you are inspired of a way to do that, you see. So pay attention to that. And they want you to know, they write in some really 70s like letters, the word strength. All right. And so it's telling you that you have that strength within you. Now the 70s letters gives me this sense of, you know, post hippie era, but, you know, still very open minded, very progressive, even say liberal, right? In some ways. And, you know, not afraid to stand up, to confront the establishment, so to speak, right? So think about all of that. And if it feels like some of you, that path of service is might be one of activism in some way, where you are willing, where you're being called to stand up to the establishment instead of being a part of the establishment and just benefiting from all the things that go on, right? So so there's something there. There's a piece of justice, setting things straight. And this might be something that you, because you're trying to compare with others, you may find it difficult to stay on that path because you think, well, I could just, you know, coast easy and reap the benefits of all the luxuries and keep my peace. But the imperfections keep showing up and they keep calling you. So just listen and trust that everything will be fine. But remember, the path is always going to be imperfect. There are going to be ups and downs, but that's how we're called forward. That's how we know what's next. So that's why when we sit on the sidelines and don't get on that lane because we're afraid, then nothing changes for us, and we don't really know what we're seeking until we're on the path, and the path calls you, reveals to you what's next. So there's some things you're not going to figure out sitting. All right, let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with. Oh boy, this is my archangel for the month of September. It's Archangel Samael, and you know, I don't mean to, you know, scare you about when I say that, but you know, he comes in because the ego is playing a huge role. Whatever it is for you in this month, Libra, this is going to really bring out one of the most critical aspects of your ego. Is going to be, you're going to be working through that. His role is really to eradicate the entire ego, or as much of it as possible. So this comes usually, like, again, with some tough lessons, but they are worthwhile. And so he says, choose harmonious responses, act with wisdom and grace. So you're going to have to, in order to get out of the duality of your ego, you're going to have to look for that transcendent choice, that which brings the highest resolution, brings harmony. So you're doing what's in the best and highest good for all, but including yourself. And so don't continue to wrestle back and forth, back and forth. You know, what is it that you really want? What is it that you want? What imperfection do you want to make perfect? Well, you can stay mad at the imperfection and never really work on whatever it is that you're being called to perfect, right? So if you want peace, then you have to make whatever your purpose is, your service has to highlight peace, not the thing that, like, for example, I always like to use war. If you're against war, then you're just on this talking the same vibrational conversation as those who want it. And so you're really both just feeding war energy. You have to go to peace. You have to come up with a whole agenda that reveals the plans of peace and that will attract others to that plan. Okay. All right, let's take a look at so the Hermit. It's the Major Arcana lesson for this month. And this is really talking about, Libra, you know, this is going to be a month for you to focus on yourself. Okay? So so don't put these other situations above your own spiritual connection. And that's that window and the tree thing. So you might want to move, you know, you might be irritated by things, but this has to go, and when you follow your heart, then you're you're being introspective in a way, right? Because you're listening to what your heart is telling you, and your heart is doing what's best for you and the best and highest good for everyone else. But you're going to have to go through this channel of self reflection or introspection to get on this path. The idea is that they want you to make sure that you don't lose your connection to yourself. So that would be the what they're really trying to say here. In this month, don't lose your connection to yourself. No matter what it is you're trying to do, don't lose your connection to yourself. They wrote about self-expression, and they wrote that, this experience will help you to transcend these perceivable issues that you've been dealing with, or that you've been struggling and wrestling with and doing battle with. Wow, we went really out of focus there for a minute. And I wonder, I've never seen that happen before, but that almost felt like cosmic. Like, it'll be like that. Like, everything goes out of focus if you don't do it in that way. Okay, I can't remember the words I just was pointing out to you. but that message that came clearly about the Hermit card message. But the idea is that if you don't, everything goes out of focus. All right, let's take a look at the card from the day-to-day awareness. So it's the Queen of Fire. And so this may suggest that an attitude that you might need to develop, okay? So the Queen of Wands is someone who would also be very spiritual, but at the same time, she's someone, the card says exuberant, okay? She has this flair of her own, this very unique flair. And she's just like a multitasker, and she knows how to inspire and really rally the troops, bring out the best in others, if you will. And so she's like, she knows how to support talent. I would almost think of her like a talent scout, someone who knows how to support others and bring out the best in them. So in yourself, since the Hermit is saying focus inward, it's almost like the Hermit is saying take care of yourself first, then you can help others, like on the airline. And so this, think of ways in which you can be that you can really support and nurture your own gifts and talents, your own abilities. How can you bring out the best in you? How can you be your best advocate in that way? Your best cheering squad. And this is going to be really important for you, because if, there might be these distractions again, and listening to outside opinions where you might lose your confidence to do what you know to be right. So make sure that you, whatever inspires you, that you really nurture that you really support yourself in that way. And again, no journey is perfect, but you will find the calling will come clearly out of each action that you take. But make sure it's an action that you took for yourself, from your own inner knowing, from your own conception of ideas, they write. And then you be your best support, be your backup, be your own cheering squad. And you got to figure out how to do that, but that's going to be your job to do that for yourself. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful month of October, Libras. God bless you.